Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to have a look at the idea of a manifestation not being for us if it feels forced. And this question was put to me in the live and we were having a discussion about it. And I thought that when I was, talking about it and thinking about it, that I'd create a video on it because it's very helpful in understanding, your true desires from within. Sometimes when we want to manifest something and maybe we are not clear in our intention, maybe we're feeling anxious and stressed, maybe we, don't have an actual good intention for whatever it is that we are manifesting, it can seem that it's something that we want, but really deep down it's actually not. And what I mean by this is that sometimes we can get into the whole manifestation journey where we're actually just manifesting because of something, terrible that maybe have happened and we want to create a different outcome. But maybe sometimes what we are creating in this outcome is sucking the life out of us. It's causing us more stress, causing us more anxiety to continue to think about it, and thinking about it from this perspective of either it, being forced, whether it's a true desire or not, might help. So when we look at something that is forced, how we know something is forced is that it will be going against all of our values. So when you find that you are having to go against what you believe in, having to go against, things that are true for you in your heart, it's going to feel more forced. It's going to feel like a manipulation, and that is kind of what is taking you down then the kind of wrong road. So when we go against our values, so for example, if we're somebody who, values honesty, we're not going to be somebody then that is going to show up and is going to always be speaking from a place of dishonesty or doing this dishonest actions, because it's not going to feel good. We're going to want to align with our value of honesty. So we're going to be showing up with honesty. So it's the same when we are manifesting as well too. When we're manifesting and we feel that we have to manipulate an outcome, or we feel like we have to, do things in our 3D to force it along, do things in our 3D that actually cause us to go against our values. And our values can be, a multitude of things. It can be how responsible we are, how patient we are, how kind we are. If something is causing us to show up in more of an angry way, or something's causing us to show up against our kindness, all these little things are kind of little signs that maybe we are forcing a manifestation. So how we know that we're not forcing the manifestation is that it is something that we are aligning our values to. And that means that when we show up and, you can still have negative thoughts and you can still have negative emotions, but it's not going to feel like a forced manipulating way that is actually, sucking the kind of soul light out of you. So I use the example of a job, for instance, in the live, just so I thought that it might explain it better. And when we are, wanting a job or a particular job, it's not that we don't, force ourselves into pushing ourselves into this position. So for example, if you are in a job and you want a higher position, you're going to be showing up in a way that is, motivated and disciplined into creating this higher position. You're going to be keeping your thoughts in a positive way towards gaining this higher position. You're going to be doing all of your work that is kind of aligned to your values in order to get this higher position. And everything that you are doing is to create the best possible outcome in gaining this higher position. And, sometimes this higher position can come in the most, way that you would never even think about, but it will be even feeling better to you because you were aligned with your values along the way, if that makes sense. So let's say, for example, you go the other way and you are, forcing yourself into a position without being honest, without having integrity, really manipulating the outcome. that is kind of a forceful way. So when we're looking at our 3D and we're taking action, it's not that your action is forced in any way. Like, you can actually go out there and you can pursue success, and you can pursue jobs and money and, you know, things like that. You can be working in this way, and you can be, you know, forcing yourself to stay up in order to get a project done, you know, work overtime in order to get a project done. These are not forceful habits. They're only forceful habits if we are manipulating the habit into an outcome. So when we are going against our value system, that is when we kind of know when we're not actually coming from the truth of what it is that we desire. So for example, a relationship as well too. So if you have a specific person, maybe you're manifesting a specific person, and maybe you're saying affirmations that might not feel, you know, good at the start, because maybe you're thinking in a way that it is forceful. But it's not that it will be forceful when you are willing it from a positive kind of outlook. So when you're looking and you want to, you know, attract maybe a specific person into your life, you're going to have affirmations, you're going to have loving affirmations. And this is where, you know, I think anyway that general affirmations tend to work a lot better, because we're actually, you know, putting the affirmations into ourselves. Our subconscious mind knows who we want to attract, so it actually kind of, you know, attracts it into our life without us having to be too specific. However, when we want to be a bit specific in whoever or whatever that we're manifesting, it doesn't mean that we're forcing the outcome. It means that we ask ourselves, is all of this going in alignment with my values? So I have a value system that is desiring a, you know, a long-term, loving, healthy, intimate relationship with this specific person. And is this specific person in alignment with all of my values as well too? Because sometimes we can be, you know, interested in people who are not actually aligned to the same value system that we would have, and because they show up in a different way that may be triggering, you know, angry, you know, maybe dishonesty and all of these kind of things. It's not that, you know, people do not change, but it's all about asking yourself, you know, how much energy and thought do you want to put into what it is that you are creating? And when things are feeling forced in a way that is coming from a manipulations standpoint, well, that's kind of how you know then that you need to take your energy back into yourself, and you need to kind of evaluate what it is that you are creating. So I just thought I would do a video on that. Remember that anything that we are doing in our 3D reality that may, you know, seem forced or seem like we're putting a lot of action into it, it's not forced if it's coming from our value system, if it's actually aligned to everything that we believe in and everything that we, you know, desire to be and experience. However, if we are coming from the other side where we are going against our values, going against what we truly believe in, that is kind of when we know that it is forced. And it's not that we have to give up on a desire in that way either. It just means we take our energy back and we evaluate what it is we're actually creating, because sometimes we can, you know, we can get in our own way and we can block our own selves because we're not actually, you know, getting the clear intention of what it is that we are creating, and we're just on the surface level. And sometimes when we realize that, okay, it's not really feeling so good right now, so let me just take my energy back in and evaluate what it is that I'm doing here, and then I can get back on to what it is that I am creating. Remember, there are no mistakes. Everything is a learning process. It also just awakens you and opens your mind to the closer connection to yourself, your awareness. So when the more aware you become is how you are actually evolving as well too. So I just thought I'd do a video on that. If you have any questions, you can comment down below and I will chat to you soon.